Beer here back in the Fantasy Bar. Big Friday night in MLB. I got 6 of my favorite plays, including a couple value plays I think are too cheap. A starting pitcher that's been on an absolute tear in the strikeout department. Couple big boppers I'm expecting to heat up tonight. And of course, my favorite play of the night. Who we talking about? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack. Thank you once again for joining here at the Fantasy Bar, checking out the video. 6 of my favorite plays on FanDuel and DraftKings. Before we get into the plays, do me a favor, take a second, click that thumbs up button if you enjoy the content, you like hanging out here in the Fantasy Bar. That's all we ask in return. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel, get notified when these videos are coming out. And lastly, head over to scoresandodds.com/beer for all of your sports betting needs. Tons of great information over there. Arm yourself with said information. Football season right around the corner. Check out some of the futures that are already posted. Compare odds and, of course, other premium picks, including some baseball picks for you here tonight. Scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, big slate of games here tonight. Weather looks to be a minor concern, so let's get going here in the outfield with Jake Fraley of the Reds. These prices still continue to shock me on this guy. He's been solid, been putting up numbers, yet we're still under 3K on DraftKings and sitting right at that number here on FanDuel. So one of the best, if not the best, buy lows that we have. And this time of the year, you're going to see this a lot. Youngsters coming up, you can take advantage of the soft pricing on these guys. And I think you certainly want to do that here with Fraley before this price jumps up. And this guy's leading Cincinnati in both WOBA and ISO against righties. The WOBA at almost 400, ISO over 300. Now, sure, limited sample, but been very good there. Now, Cavalli on the other side, first round pick. This guy is highly touted. No doubt, I think it's going to scare a lot of people away here. Certainly wouldn't go and stack the Reds here. But Fraley, if you need that salary relief, been so good against righties. I think it's a phenomenal one-off play here tonight against Washington. All right, let's go to the other side of that game. Get another youngster that's been doing well. First baseman or outfield, Joey Meneses. Now hits. All this guy has done since coming up, hits in 16 of the last 17 games. In fact, 7 of those games have been multi-hit games. So this guy has been uber productive here. And you see his price on DraftKings starting to raise up, but on FanDuel, still under 3,000. So either way, I like him even at that 4,100. The 2,700 feels like stealing here. Now another limited sample against lefties, but very, very impressive here. ISO of 370, a WOBA at almost 500, and a huge 52% hard contact rate against left-handed pitching. Now Minor, been one of the worst left-handed pitchers, if not the worst, that we have in baseball. Checking all of the boxes for us. A WOBA over 400 allowed to righties, an ISO at 284, and a solid power mix at 44 and 42%. Meneses just too cheap, especially over on FanDuel at just 2,700. All right, we saved you some money. Let's spend up at shortstop next with Francisco Lindor of the Mets. Lindor been somewhat quiet. Talked about in the opening. A couple guys here have been quiet. I think are going to wake up here. Should see very low ownership here on Lindor. So a sneaky tournament play, even in cash games. Don't mind going this route. Now the numbers against lefties, not massive, but the home runs are certainly there. More powerful from this side of the plate. In fact, 15 of his 21 home runs have come from the left side of the plate against righties. Now, Chad Kuhl taking the hill tonight has always struggled with left-handed hitters. No different this season. 363 WOBA allowed, 222 ISO, and a 39 and 46% power mix here. Lindor in a good power spot tonight against Chad Kuhl. All right, I promised you a starting pitcher that's been ringing up the strikeouts. We're rolling Justin Steele of the Cubs. Now this guy really been pitching well. You look at the last 5 starts, 39 strikeouts over that stretch, so averaging almost 8 per game. His prop sitting at 5.5 here tonight. I would hammer that baby in the sports book. Last start came against this Milwaukee team. 9 strikeouts in that game and a season high 29.7 DraftKings points. So clearly a very good matchup here. And the Brewers have struggled with lefties all season long. 3rd highest strikeout rate in all of baseball at over 26% this season. You look up and down that lineup, a lot of struggles with left-handed pitchers, not a lot of pop in that lineup either. Justin Steele in another good spot here against this Brewers team that he has owned. All right, back to the bats here and back to the outfield Teoscar Hernandez of the Blue Jays. So like Lindor, higher end bat that's been kind of quiet. The ownership should follow along with that, should get him low owned here in this spot. And Teoscar's always hit left-handers well. 375 WOBA this season, big 317 ISO, so hits for a ton of power. No Detmer's been a solid pitcher. I think a lot of people may shy away in the spot, but that power mix squarely in play for us here at 41% fly ball rate, 41% hard contact rate. I think Teoscar gets it going here tonight against the lefty in Reed Detmers. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Friday night. Before we do that, let's continue our Beast of the Night contest. Congrats to all of the recent winners. Very easy to play. All you got to do is get in the comment section right below the video and guess fantasy points on FanDuel tonight for my highest scoring hitter. Guys, all you got to do is guess the fantasy points. You don't have to guess who it's going to be. The closest guess wins themselves a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. Chance to check everything out behind the scenes. And while you're down there, who's your beast of the night? Time for you to take over as the bartender here in the fantasy bar. Who is your beast of the night? All right, let's take a look at my favorite play for Friday night. You know Matt, beast of the night. All right, this time we're going to stay in the outfield. We're going for power here. We're rolling with Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies, tonight's beast of the night. So we saw a long stretch where Schwarber just wasn't hitting home runs. Got off to Schneid last night. Another great matchup here tonight. I think we get back-to-back nights with a home run. Has really done well against righties, especially with power 308. The ISO, also a 308 ISO against the fastball, which you'll see a lot from Wilson. That is the primary pitch, and Wilson has had major struggles with left-handed hitters. 411 WOBA allowed, ton of power as well, 273 the ISO, and a huge, alarming 53.5 hard contact rate allowed. That is not good when you're facing a guy like Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber in a smash spot here tonight, making him easily my favorite play on the board and tonight's beast of the night. All right, guys, that wraps up here for Friday night in the Fantasy Bar, talking MLB with 6 of my favorite plays. If you have any comments, questions, or feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget, fantasy points on FanDuel for my highest scoring hitter of the 5 bats I gave you for a shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium. And go and check out scoresandodds.com/beer. That link in the description of the video. Tons of great information. You're going to love what you see. Go and check it out today for RotoGrinders.com. I am Beer saying salut, guys. Best of luck tonight. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist